So now another ad that's just been released, very COVID specific from the team at Aussie Home Loans. So let's jump to Aussie Home Loans COVID-19 TV creative now.
Home. It's not just a place we're stuck in. It's home cooked meals, home workouts, home schooling, working from home, home movie nights, and movie days. It's see you when I get home. Your home means more than ever, and so does having the right home loan. To understand your options, go straight to Aussie. We'll help ensure you have the right loan for right now.
What I like about this ad is that it demonstrates the contextual nature of advertising. Is there are certain times, there are certain places where you can put out certain messages and they make sense more than others. So for instance, I was looking at somebody tweeted out an advertisement from the 50s the other day where it was a big woman and then zip forward 5 years and she's really thin because instead of reaching for the cake, she was reaching for a Camel cigarette. Tame your cravings through smoking. So it's an ad that's like so locked to a time and place. And I was thinking it's so offensive now, but at the same time, it's like it's so bad that it's circled back to now being just quaint.
Yep. But if you look at how effective that is, there is absolute genius within it, but
could you get away with that?
It's serving an evil premise rather than serving good. And I think it's where
tied to it. It shows you how contextual things can be. Is you could never do that ad now. Legally, you couldn't do that ad anymore, but you also can't knock somebody's weight anymore. It's so tied to a time, to a way of thinking. That's where I think this ad slots in. It's a COVID ad through and through. They're making an argument that's so tied to this moment that you've got two problems. Is one, if you make a COVID ad that's purely a COVID ad, in about 2 months, it's not going to make sense anymore. So unless you've built a pattern that you can extend yourself past the COVID ad, you're kind of SOL. When it's done, it's done. Put that back in the trash can, move on. Let's say you do run an ad during COVID that resonates with people. Because memories are contextual, what happens is if I see that outside of a COVID environment, now the world is different and I see that ad again, what it's going to do is it's not just going to bring up the memory for that ad, it's going to bring up the memory for that context. Now all of a sudden I'm going to be thinking about, oh, how horrible was it to stay at home? Or some people might be going, oh, how great was it to stay at home? Point is, you can't control that. If people hated COVID, when they see your ad afterwards, it's going to be a negative thing. If they loved COVID, when they see your ad afterward, and that's a real weird thing to say, no one loves it, but if they loved the isolation, when they see your ad afterwards, that's going to bring up good things. You can't control that, unfortunately. So a lot of people should smartly cut their COVID ads when it's done. What I think Aussie Home Loans did here is it's very weird. I think they were trying to make a contextual ad, but make it generic enough that they could pull it out past COVID. So they were making a home ad, but they kept cutting to some shots that were some people out of home or some people at work. And they were trying to make it just generic enough that when everything goes away, they can still just keep running this and say, hey, the home is still a very important place. Dangerous game because it confused the heck out of me. Like I got it after about the third or fourth watch. I saw that the woman who was at work was a frontline worker in a hospital. So that was your COVID tie-in. But it just looked like a factory work. I'm like, how is she working? Aren't we all supposed to be home? And then they cut to family, like old 1950s family. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with COVID? So they were just edging it enough. So it was COVID, but not purely COVID, which I think is a really weird, bad move. It's either do it or don't, shit or get off the pot. And in this case, I think they shit on half the pot, which just leaves the viewer going, okay. And the worst thing of all, that's just me taking the beginning of that ad. The worst thing of all is at the end, I still have no clue what the hell they do. It's Aussie Home Loans. Do they give you the home loans? Do they compare other home loans? Do I call them if I don't like my interest rate and they can show me what other companies are? I still don't know what the heck they do.
This for me out of the set was by far the worst.
Yeah.
For me, the whole brand wasn't even in brand colors. It was like this feel good, like every other ad out about COVID, which just sort of, as soon as you see it now, you literally tune out. Like you don't want to see it. In terms of memory, not even there. And at the end, it doesn't really, again, goes back to your point. why Aussie? Why should I partner with you? Why should I come to you now? And the interesting thing, post this, I just had a quick look at home loans. The demand for home loans and interest in home loans right now is at a peak we haven't seen ever. The demand, so you should be absolutely crushing it now. If you have a product or service for home loans, there is more interest in the market because people desperately want a better rate. People desperately are looking to either refinance or save money.
Yeah.
So now this is their time. When you look at branded terms for Aussie, it is as flat as a tack, if not slight decline. So you're like, this ad has done absolutely nothing for them. And I can see a few competitors that are literally harvesting all the demand that's out there, whereas Aussie's completely missed the mark on this one.
As you just said, knowing that this is the time to do that, knowing that this is what they do, the hell didn't they just do that?